Kia ora, and welcome to this IT training tutorial video on adding your EndNote bibliography to the end of your thesis. Now hopefully you've been keeping your citations unformatted throughout the entire writing of your thesis, and you will not have a bibliography anywhere yet. If you really do need to show the bibliography to someone, take a copy of your chapter document and format it there, but try to leave the original ones unformatted the whole time if possible. So assuming you followed that advice, we're going to add the bibliography to this final thesis document for the first time. So what I'm going to do, I think it'll just be a good idea to go to the very end of my thesis. So I'm just going to use Command End on my keyboard. And here I'm just going to put in a page break. So choose your preferred way to do that. And on my new page, I'll just put in my new heading, which is going to be something like References or Bibliography, depending on what you've been told to call it. And then I will give it a heading. So now I'm going to add my bibliography to the document. Now before I go any further, I find it's often good practice to open the EndNote library and just sort of keep it out of the way, but have it open just in case. So back in my document, I'm going to go to the Tools menu and choose EndNote 17. And from here, I'm going to update the citations and bibliography. So I'll just click on that. If it runs into any problems, it will stop me on a selected citation. Okay, and here is my bibliography. I've got a little extra space there. Now, I'm going to just save this before I go any further. And I'm just noticing here there's a problem with this entry. Now this happens to be like the first one that I have in my beginning of my introduction. Notice that this has all been formatted correctly now. I'm just going to point out that if these aren't formatted in the style that you think they should be, go back to Tools, EndNote 17, and choose Configure Bibliography, and double check that the style that you see for your output style is the correct one. If you click on that, it'll give you the short list that you would have seen inside of EndNote, and you can just make that change there. Now if I go back to the end, again that's Command End, I can see that this one has been formatted strangely, but I'm not going to make the change here. I'm going to go back to my EndNote library, fix it there, and then update this. So when I go back to the EndNote library again, I'll see that there's a special little group with the name of my document, and this will have just the citations in that document. Here's the one that's got the problem, and I can see why. It's actually got two DOIs here. So what I need to do is to take one away. Some databases will add their own proprietary DOI, and that's not the generic one. So I'm going to go ahead and change that and then save the change. And then back in my document, I'll update this one more time. And now I see that's been done correctly, so that's complete. And that's it. Thanks for your attention. I hope you found this useful. Kia ora.